ಮಾನ್ಯತೆ ಇರಲಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಅತಿದೊಡ್ಡ ಆದಿತ್ಯ ಸಂಕೀರ್ಣ ಆರಂಭದ ಇನ್ವಿಟೇಷನ್ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನಡೆದ ಪತ್ರಿಕಾಗೋಷ್ಠಿ.
To each one of you for making the time to come and see us on this, the second day of this great Hilton complex being open. You'll hear some more from representatives of Hilton, but we're very pleased and very proud to be able to host you, to look around the complex. 619 room complex, Hilton and Hilton Garden Inn. Hilton Garden Inn has been open for a month and we're very encouraged with its performance. This property for us at Embassy REIT represents part of what we call the total business ecosystem. So when we speak to our corporate occupiers, we say to them we're not just providing office space to them, we're providing a complete business ecosystem which includes facilities like sports zones, like creches, open green spaces, food courts, and here hotels, accommodation, conferencing that can be used by those businesses as part of making their operations more efficient. So that's what we refer to as the total business ecosystem. I thought it would be helpful to look back and talk a little bit about how we got here. We opened the Hilton at Embassy Golf Links in 2014. So 8 years ago, Embassy launched our Hilton Hotel at EGL, 247 rooms. And again, that was the same philosophy, that we would have a hotel on our business park. We learnt a lot of lessons from that experience. One, the hotel did very, very well from day one. For many years throughout the week, that hotel has been operating at over 90% occupancy because of the corporate occupiers on that business park. So a very successful experience. But as with every good business, we look at that and say, how can we do better? So things that we learnt from the experience over those last 8 years at Hilton at Embassy Golf Links was that, one, it was relatively small. 247 room hotel 10 years ago, when that was thought about originally, was quite a sizable hotel. By the time we opened it, we felt we could do more, it could be bigger. So that was one lesson. The other lesson that we learnt was that the ancillary spaces, so the conferencing space, the meeting room space, they were constantly at full capacity. The corporate occupiers who were on the business park wanted that space more and more. It was quite hard to book that, so we learnt that lesson. The third big lesson that we learnt was that it was inside the park. These three lessons are examples of what we've done differently here 8 years later. So 3 or so years ago, as we were designing and planning for the new Hilton complex at Embassy Manyata, one, we asked our corporate occupiers what they wanted in terms of the type of hotel, the price points, the scale, and so on. And so we concluded that this 619 room complex with 2 different brands of international standard hotels, Hilton Garden Inn plus Hilton, that 619 rooms, which even 3-4 years ago we were thinking, that's a lot of rooms, that's a big complex. Actually today we think that decision has been vindicated, that we're already getting strong interest and strong bookings for those two. So scale, we've built at scale. The second lesson that we learnt was we need more conferencing space. So the 60,000 foot conferencing space here is going to be a very unique part of the offering to our corporate occupiers. And then the third piece is that whole total business ecosystem, that we're able to provide that not just to the corporate occupiers within our parks, and there are over 50 international corporations who work from Embassy Manyata. There are over 1 lakh people who work in this business park. But it's not just for that corporate occupier, because we've positioned this complex at the front of Embassy Manyata, so that whereas our property that we launched 8 years ago at the weekends was very quiet, we anticipate that this property, the Hilton complex at Embassy Manyata, is going to be thriving and doing very well.
And you know, during the course of this construction, thousands and thousands of people have gained employment, and we have communities that have benefited from this hotel being where it is. And I think this is a great testimony to this fact, which is why I think this is such a great business to be in. Before I start, I want to thank you all for taking time out from your busy schedules to be with us today. And I hope that, as Mike said, you will have more chances to experience the product by staying in it, coming to dine with us, and really getting a feel for what the Hilton service is. I also want to thank the Embassy team, Mike, Aditya, Raghu and Angad, who have spent the last few years toiling to get this ready in time for this opening today. And I think it's been a really labor of love. Such a large project doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of effort from a lot of people to put it together. So thank you for all that you've done for us. When we were planning this event, and we decided today to be the press conference, I called up Manish and I said, Manish, I'd like to come and stay with you. And he said, yeah, we'd love to have you, but unfortunately I can't give you a room at the Hilton. And I said, we just opened yesterday. And he said, no, we're sold out. We had a big wedding group that we had taken already, and so it's very important that the hotel opened because somebody was getting married here yesterday. So there was no delay possible in the opening. We had to open yesterday, and he said, but you're lucky because the way the hotel was planned, we have another hotel, the Hilton Garden Inn, which we had opened a month ago, where I was able to get a room and stay. So I think the lesson is that India is growing by leaps and bounds. As we were talking earlier, we are going to triple India's GDP in the next 10-15 years. More and more office supply is going to come into India. And hotels like this are going to be the future, where we have, offices, 1 lakh people coming to work every day who need a place to stay, a place to come and eat, and basically make it easier for them to do business. So I think this is just the beginning of our journey, and we are very optimistic and proud of what we are going to do in the next few years. This hotel is going to be our 24th hotel in India, and this is our 5th hotel in the city of Bangalore. And with this complex, we are one of the largest operators of a hotel complex in the south of India, and obviously one of the largest in Bangalore. So this is our 3rd opening in this year, which tells you the momentum that's building up. And this is despite the fact that we have just come through
As a developer, we are immensely proud to have successfully delivered this Hilton, or 2 Hiltons rather, this month. And I think you can see by the product we haven't stinged anywhere. It's an amazing 2 hotels that we've continued our relationship with one of, or if not the best, business management hotel brands in the world, which is Hilton, and continued our expansion with them from the hotel we have at Embassy Golf Links to now Manyata, to now 2 more that we're doing in Embassy Tech Village. Same style, Hilton Garden Inn and a Hilton. And like Mike mentioned, we've had a lot of learnings from the Hilton that we did at EGL to see what kind of efficiencies we can bring here and build to a more optimal cost and make sense for our business. Now as Embassy, our strategy remains the same when we look at hospitality, and that is keeping hospitality within our business parks. And you see a building outside, the rents that you can command are hugely different, and that premium we can generate is because of these value adds like we have with Hilton. But with that said, the costing that we had on this Hilton actually proves that a hotel can actually make sense for a business owner and developer like us to actually make a profit by hotel on its own. And I think what you'll see now in the next 5 years is very interesting. You're going to see a huge shortage of supply, and you're going to see huge input costs going up, which will then force the hotels that are operational today to be able to command a huge premium. And I like to take a prediction to say that in the next 5 years, I think hotel room rates are going to double. I think the advantage we have as Embassy REIT is the big balance sheet, and what you're going to see at Embassy Tech Village is learnings that we have from this hotel implemented into that hotel. And I think that's going to be really interesting. We've been able to lock orders pre-inflation, pre-COVID, and I think we're going to be able to have a lot of learnings from here that will make ETV an even bigger success and help us grow our hotel expansion within the REIT. I want to thank Hilton for continuing to be with us. I think we've built a very good relationship with you. Thank you, Navjeet, and your team. We continue the strategy of using a specialized operator to operate our hotel rather than us getting involved in the day-to-day, and we do what's best, which is buying land and building buildings to their specific